All right, it's another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. I'm a host, Brant Goebel, joined by
Tyler
and
Branden,
and we are catching up with our best friend, right?
Best friend.
Bestest friend, very best friend. He doesn't even know it, how close we are. Branden Steineckert. How are you doing, Branden?
I'm great. I'm well aware of how close we all are. Me and I guess that can be taken anyway.
Right. Yeah, we'll take it.
Oh, wait,
So-
you guys, we go way back.
Yeah, multiple episodes.
Multiple, yes.
Exactly.
And this is actually
I
episode
think-
number
have you
3.
know, this is the first time I've ever done a podcast more than once.
Oh,
So this is the first for me.
Well, we're grateful.
and honored, yeah, that you'd join us.
I'm honored. I'm honored you had me back, so thank you. Oh, and now is technology failing us? It froze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
The cool part about this technology is it'll just look like we're staring at the screen for a second, and then it'll just move on because it downloads it. So, yeah, don't worry about that. If you get going on the roll and you don't hear us for a minute, just keep going. No.
yeah, it records separately. So we're
You
good.
guys know how to just keep going. So all good.
Yeah, I was when I reached out to you and you mentioned that we're not going to go as long as we did last time. I said, oh no, and I was telling Tyler today. Well, he was kind of the reason we went so long. I mean, just ask him.
We did ask him a lot of questions.
Ask you a question, and
Yeah. You ask one question, I'll give you a full length movie, man. Like I'm well aware. I'm an over answerer for sure, and I'm just like I get carried away, because it's like anything I'm going to be bothering doing some kind of interview about is obviously something I care about, and the things I care about, I could go on and on about as you've experienced. So I was more putting that out there for my sake. Like, all right, we're not like
control
I
yourself,
won't be able to go
Branden.
that long, so I better just shut the hell up at a point. I didn't give myself like a stopwatch. Like, you give me an answer, and I get 60 seconds to give you an answer to a question.
Okay, we can do that. How's that go? Do.
Yeah,
Give you the
Right?
Jeopardy theme.
Or like
So-
give me like the Grammys music where like your speech time is done and the music starts playing.
just that
and it's
casual undertone.
like,
And
yeah,
we'll
the orchestra
all
starts
take
kicking
turns.
in, and it's like, all right, time to shut up.
We'll all take turns being Kanye. I'm gonna let you speak.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, we wanted to catch up. Last time we talked with you, we didn't really mention it on our podcast because you were working on stuff, and we helped keep it a really big secret. And
That's right.
wanted
I
to follow
appreciate
up.
it.
How did that all?
I was like, I did not keep it a secret. I was serious. It was close friends. That was it.
Just close.
You're the one. No,
So, yeah, how did
I think I told you guys when we talked about Believe, right? Like I
Yeah.
was telling you how I sat on that for like a year before I did anything with it. And I think I just sometimes need things to simmer for me a little bit. With this, I was really excited. Last time we talked, I had this mostly done, I think. But it was kind of in the end all about timing and making sure I could deliver something that I don't know, that I really truly could stand behind, and it was gonna serve my intentions the best, And so it was like toward the end of the year last year, I was like, man, I can't wait for preseason. Like, there was so much happening last year. Like at the beginning of the season, there was so much happening, and it was just like, I don't know. I didn't want to overshadow anything. I didn't want this to be overshadowed. It was just like, yeah. But then this time around, it's like, you know what? There's always a lot going on every preseason and going into a new season. So waiting for like there not to be a bunch of excitement is just not going to happen. I mean, we've got a New Jersey sponsor, new players. We've lost players. It's like, how is there ever going to be a chill time to just like, as a fan, be like, hey guys, I have an idea. Like, and try to capture people's attention. You know, it's not easy to do. So I'm like, screw it.
Well,
Now's the time. Let's do it.
it's definitely not easy to do. So for our listeners out there, kind of, if you don't mind, just kind of start from scratch and tell them what you did. I mean, I guess you have the ear of John Kimball somehow. Is that right?
I missed the first couple of seconds of the question. It was cutting out. What was that again? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was asking how you got this started. You just kind of reached out to John Kimball and said, hey, I got this idea for the way we kick things off, the way we start the game.
Yeah, it was literally exactly that. I mean, John's a good friend of mine, and it's almost like I forget he's like his role is so crucial and all that stuff because he's just like one of the homies to me. Like he's just such like cut from the same cloth as me and so many of my friends, and so I just feel like I can talk to Kimball about anything and just riff ideas with him and talk about things, and then when I want to do those things, then it's like, well, all right, now, sorry, buddy, but I need you all to stay out of it because I want to do this as a fan, and I don't want it to seem like it's coming from the front office or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't work here.
We
Like
do.
this is my passion, and so it's so great to be able to just, as a fan, riff ideas with him and hear from his point of view. Um, I don't know, any feedback. It's incredible, and he's such a level-headed guy with such vision, and he's so in tune, and I think he loves to remain in tune to what we're all wanting, you know, kind of on a grassroots level and things like that. So it really meant a lot to be able to kind of pick his ears, show him ideas, and I've been doing that for years. Even when he wasn't with RSL anymore, I was doing that, you know.
So, what is your vision if you're going to explain this to fans who say, when are we supposed to sing it? What is the inspiration? What, in your mind, what were you imagining you're creating for the fans?
So, I mean, my whole thing is about those moments, you know, and not to kind of reiterate my points from like captions and posts and things like that, but I feel like we need to empower the supporters groups and the fans that are there and rowdy and organized and doing their thing, and they've really cultivated this culture with these groups and stuff, and we need that to be empowered. But what we also need is the people who it's their first time coming to a match, or they're maybe not in a supporters group. How do we make those people feel like they belong just as much? You know, because we should never be like oh, I was here since 2005 type of thing. Like that's so, I don't know. It makes people feel like they don't get to be in on it, and it's like clicky, and there's cool kid club kind of vibe, and so to me, it's about creating these moments where like, all right, let's let them not let, but it's like the supporters groups are going to do what they do, and it's going to be incredible, and it creates atmosphere, and they have unique voices from each other, and it's incredible, you know. And the more they all try to work together, and the more that we get things going in unison, the stronger it even gets. However, that one moment of like when we score, when the match starts, when Believe kicks in, it creates what I keep referring to as like a moment when everybody knows what to do and we can all get in sync for a moment and be united as one doing the same thing. And so I'm starting to feel like, how cool would it be if we had several moments, not just that one thing when we score? What if there was, you know, and so to me, the next obvious one is that moment when the players line up in the tunnel, you know, and I had been envisioning this idea. And then when they came out at the beginning of last year and the red lights and everything came on, you know, I've been in the tunnel so many times and seen the red lights in the tunnel, but that was a new addition, having the stadium like light up and everything like that, the fireworks, and them trying to make more of a production of it all. And I was like, oh my God, like this is one of those moments. Like this gives us a reason to want to be down in our seats. This gives us a reason to to like come together, whether that's at the end of halftime or that's the beginning of the game. It gives us a reason to kick things off, and it gets in the heads of the opponents from the get-go, while just, I would hope, firing up our guys so much to have them walk out to that. Like, you know what I mean? And so it's one of many that I would love to do where that's when this could happen. That's when this could take place. However, is it limited to that? Is Believe limited to goal scoring? Like, no, like it's incredible when it's organic, because when somebody kicks it in, it catches on, and all of a sudden the whole stadium's singing it organically. That's even cooler, you know? So, like, if everybody with a drum in their hand or feet and hands to stomp and clap can just start playing that rhythm, the crowd's going to know what to do. And it's going to be fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait. Like, it'd be so sick. I mean, obviously, it takes a whole lot of, Rome wasn't built in a day. This isn't going to just be like out of the gates, probably this thing, but you never know. We got to start somewhere,
How did you piece that together lyrically? Like, because if it like written on paper, that doesn't seem like something that you can really mesh very well. Like, how did you come up with that?
Well, it's only 6 words. That made it easier.
But I mean, the way
I'm
you,
playing.
yeah, like it's incredible, honestly.
Oh, thank you very much. It was one of those things. I mean, how great is like "We Will Rock You"? You know what I mean? There's nothing to that. There's nothing, and it was one of those things. It's like less is more. I wanted a beat people could wrap their heads around, and rather than just a stomp clap, like if you believe, like whatever, and swinging your arms, I wanted an actual groove this time. And I'm a drummer, so that's what I do. And so I wanted a beat that we could all stomp and clap and like hit drums to. And then it was just like less is more. What's just a bold statement we can say that's a proclamation, and we can just, stake the flag in the ground as this is our house kind of thing, but it's like that was where the inspiration came, that it's like, well, this shouldn't only be in English. That seems so obvious. I mean, I mean, every chant we should all be singing in Spanish and English. Those are the 2 predominant languages in our state. Why wouldn't we do both? And so it just became incredibly obvious to me that that's what direction that should go in, and it was just, I wanted to just make that statement, and then it was just a matter of, as a songwriter, working the syllables and finding the groove and a little hook and rolling with it and seeing where it went.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts, Brandon, was being able to hear and see the Spanish side of it too. I mean, I'm not Hispanic, but I speak Spanish, so it's kind of fun to connect with that again and have it in the stadium. I think there's a couple chants that they do in the, what end is that?
South end.
The 10, section 10 and 9, whatever we call it, the South end.
Yeah.
And getting the Spanish chants going and learning those, even for my gringo friends that I bring that don't speak a lick of Spanish, by the end they're singing, and it's fun.
Yeah, I love that.
Very uniting.
Exactly. And I think, it's not the first, but it's, I mean, maybe as far as an original thing that isn't a classic, and something that's written for our club that's bilingual. If there's another one, I'm not familiar, but love that there are renditions, like the Dale Real and things like that. Like there's rad stuff, but I just was inspired to do something that, if we're going to make that proclamation belongs to all of us, and it goes both ways, where it's just kind of, I don't know, again, in the end, the more we're united, the more the team's going to feel that, the more love they're going to feel, the more love they're going to have for us. I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Like, we need those players to give a shit, but we need to give a shit first. Like, we need to do our part, not just expect them to. Like, we got to show up and put as much passion into this as we expect them to show up and put passion into it, and just give what we hope to get,
Yeah, and give everybody a reason to show up early to the game.
I
Right,
was just
right,
gonna,
Brent?
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
sing this unless you are there on time in your seat.
Right.
Well, I guess you can't because you'll miss it.
You'll
if
miss
you
it.
Don't show up. Yeah.
But we'll have monitors in the stadium to make sure that if you weren't there on time, you can't sing at any other time during the
Right?
game.
No.
You gotta be
Someone
on
tries
time.
to sing it. No, you were late. No, but and I mean, my hat's off to like what they've done to try to create more of an environment at the matches with little things like lighting. They did add all the red lights and some firework things, and it's like hey, they're coming from the whoever you want to credit that to, ownership, front office, whoever it may be. It's just showing effort to kind of create more of an environment. And again, it's like, okay, rad, we got the visuals happening. Now let's take ownership of the audio, and let's make the soundtrack of this environment just as rad, but let's make it original. Let's make it our own. Let's make it something. I'm just another fan, man. Like I love and I'm humbled that Believe has done what it's done over the last 12 years. I would love to see something like this continue to grow and become a tradition. And I intend to continue doing this, and I'm not going to make these 12 years apart. Like I want to do a lot more of this stuff. It's just a matter of like, are people receptive to it? In a time and day when uniting people is a lot more of a struggle than it should be, and bringing people together in unison to do something together when people seem to be very coming from different places, and it's very apparent. I would just hope this is something we can check our differences at the door and continue to, and know that we're there for one, common bond, one love, and one passion.
Yeah, and if we really, really want to get people motivated, are you gonna on the next one? Are you gonna partner with Taylor Swift? I mean, that seems like.
I would love to.
Yeah, just give him a call, Taylor.
Yeah.
Sure.
We can reach out to her for you if you want.
I'm sorry,
No.
but I'm team Taylor. I'm a fan. I'm sorry to
Oh,
say.
we love
might upset
Taylor
people.
Swift. I have to admit, I
love
was
her, man.
rooting
I
for
think
Kansas
she's
City.
great.
I was absolutely
I
rooting
can't
for
take a
Kansas City
side.
for Taylor.
That's I don't follow football. I watched the Super Bowl with my in-laws, and because it's kind of a tradition of theirs. I think it was like maybe the third one I've ever watched in my life. And so I didn't care who won, but I had a good time, and I laugh and shake my head at the amount of attention and promotion that whole thing is bringing. It's just
Not funny.
insane.
But see, you're the Taylor Swift for Real Salt Lake. Like,
Yeah.
you're Kansas City Chief.
I'll be honored to
You're
take
our
that,
guy,
to take
man.
that title.
Man, Branden Steine, baby. Branden Steine.
Real Salt Lake more in history forever.
Oh, man.
And I love that. I love that. That's part of like your legacy is the whole Believe chant and everything. And
Rad,
it's
thank
it's
you.
beautiful to me. So let's add a few
Thank
more,
you.
right? Let's keep going.
Let's get that album going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's get the whole
Absolutely,
album.
dude. Yeah, we need a legit, like, how dope would it be to literally put out a vinyl of like original RSL chants, Like if I can get, we'll get up to 10. I'll keep recording them like, high quality like this. And I love getting into the production of this stuff. I stepped it up a little more in different ways, as you can tell. That's why I was encouraging people, like, listen to this with headphones or like proper speakers, because this is more than just a chant. This is like, I put some real effort and production into making this like blast it in your car and listen. You'll hear the subtleties and the sonic, depths I tried to take it to, and I'll keep going, and who knows, it'd be dope to like literally, once we have enough, press them to vinyl and make it something we can all have, a tangible copy of this stuff.
Well, we don't have to wait. You could do a 45, you got two sides. You got an A and a B. We can get that
True,
45 out.
Yep, I could get going on that right away.
Yep.
That's
That
a
would be
great
kind of
point.
funny.
That's
So-
a great
So
point.
Branden, did you have like players actually in the tunnel? Like, it looks like it.
No, you had your
was
buddies, right? Didn't you have your buddies, like 3 of them?
It was honestly, my whole thing was, I took it back to what I chose to do with Believe, and I'm glad that I did, because my first reaction when I was doing the Believe video was to call up Ramondo, call up Beckerman, get like players I knew and like my friends, and bring them out to be in the video and all this stuff. But then I was hesitant. I was like, well, wait a minute. If I do that, that's going to limit this to an era. And I want this to be more than that, you know? And even simply us wearing jerseys with Zango logos, you know what I mean? It's like, it's going to be dated and set in a point of time, but I just didn't want the presence of specific people to lock it into like a period. So, you know, and make it feel dated even more. So with this, I was like, all right, this is going to be the hard part. I've got a vision for how I want to do this. I want it to be all players. I don't even want to show myself. I don't want to be in the video at all. I'm not in the video at all. And I was like, this needs to be all about that moment in the tunnel. And none of us are there. That's for damn sure. But so what I ended up doing is everyone that's in the video are all from supporters groups. I just sent out the word to a few kind of head top people I knew from different groups, and I was like, hey, I need a couple of you guys to show up at the stadium at this time. Can anybody make it? Let me know. And unfortunately, I needed to work with some parameters to make it work, which is another reason why I'm in it. At 45 and my build, I don't make a convincing 20-something soccer player.
That pickleball's not working too much, huh?
It's not doing quite what soccer should. And I'm 45 now. I don't look 22. But like, so I was like, hey, I need guys that look like young and fit, you know? And I let everybody know, like, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be seen. You know, no one's going to know it's you necessarily. But I want to know that it's our supporters and actual RSL fans in the video. And I didn't want it to be about me. So I was like, no, I'm going to be behind the camera this time. I don't want to be in front of the lens. Like, I didn't even want to be in the Believe video, but my buddy that was directing it kind of insisted. But so I was stoked. It's all, you know, there were 22 guys, all supporters, and RSL was so generous to give us the keys, and my buddy Kyle that works for RSL rounded up kits for everybody, and we got sizes, and dude, they brought us everything we needed. Just told everybody, bring your own shin guards and cleats, you know, and they were all in the locker room getting dressed, and like I have some fun behind the scenes photos and stuff I want to share because it was pretty rad. Like we all got to kind of live out the fantasy, like we're the team, you know. And I felt like I was like coach or something, like getting everybody to walk in time and clapping and like. But you know what sucked for everybody, and it was hard for me to do, is because the audio wasn't relevant to what they were doing. There was no reason to play it. So none of them got to hear a note of music or what I was doing. So the whole time there was no music playing. No one in the video had even heard this chant when we made it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no one heard it. So the first time anybody heard it was when I just released the video.
Wow.
So it was a big leap of faith. Everybody was so patient with me. They were there for a good few hours. As you can imagine, something I do takes time. But
How many times do you have to
there
yell,
was-
tut?
a lot. No, faster, slower, look more fit. Man, it was awesome, man. Like everybody really like, I don't know. I can't say enough how I appreciate like the leap of faith people have taken with me, and it's hard, you know. Like people were hurt that they weren't included, or that like, and people felt that way with Believe too. But it's like every time I keep doing these things, they're always last minute, and it's so hard to get everybody involved. It's like either way with this particular concept, I was limited to 22 people. I needed it to look like 2 starting 11s. And so it's like I couldn't have had a bunch of extra people. I couldn't show children and women and older people in this one. It wouldn't have, that's not what this video was. So I couldn't do that. With Believe, I had a very small, outreach at the time and just did my best to get a diverse group of people with like 24 hours heads up at 9 a.m. on a weekday. And so I would love to be able to feature everybody that would love to be included, but it's just not ever possible. So I always feel bad when people feel left out, but I tried to get, actual supporters' voices singing the song, actual supporters in the video, and just make it as authentic as possible.
One of the things you mentioned, I think I was checking in with you, seeing what this was going to come out because you'd mentioned it before, but you mentioned that attorneys got involved. Was that a challenge or?
What?
Not with this. It was just there. So with Believe and over the years and all of that stuff and the way it was used and everything like that, we just ran into hiccups. I mean, we went through several set of owners, several set of people working at the team store, so many people in and out, and people just kind of having fun with using that wherever, whenever they wanted. And I was just always in the distance like, hey, you can't just use my stuff. It's you can't really just like sell my ideas and and so there was just had to be like, it was like a clean slate when new ownership came in, and we just had to sort everything out. But me trying to do something like this, that was it all like, that was where I just had to detach from the club and make sure I was just a fan doing a fan idea, you know what I mean? And that was what, like, it kind of liberated it in that way where there was no business involved with this at all. Nothing like that was like even addressed. It was just simply like, I just wanted to put it out on my own. I gave Kimball a heads up like a couple days before and just asked if he minded if I had Tyler Gibbons share my posts, on some of the social media pages, and they said they were down to like share whatever. And I was like, cool. Like, I don't need you guys to post about it or anything. Just if you wouldn't mind sharing my post, because this kind of, in a way, as silly as it sounds, has nothing to do with them. Like, this is ours,
Really?
and it's just like, I just need help getting it to all of our people, but it's not coming from them, and so just wanted to make sure that wasn't lost.
Well said.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That's your question? Well said. That's not a question.
That's not my question. I was just I was just admiring his answer was great.
Well, I mean, and
It's
we're
pretty
just
good.
random fans here.
Yeah,
we don't work for
I
Real
mean,
Salt Lake just because
You're the
right?
creator, all the other stuff. We're not a part of it. You know what I mean? We're just here to enjoy it. I mean, I think
You
I
know how it
watched
is.
that video like 12 times in a row. I was like
Right.
pumped at like midnight, just be like, yeah, let's go. We are. Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
I love that. I just keep picturing it like, I mean, literally the same as Believe, where I had a vision. I pictured it in the crowd and what it would sound like, what it would feel like to have that moment happen and the whole crowd singing it and what that would do, and then this one, I just keep having the same fantasy. I'm like, oh my God, like if this could come to fruition at all, like what I'm picturing it, this will be like a goosebump moment for sure. And for our
It'll be
guys
super
to walk
heavy,
out
too.
to that, right? Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, everybody's like,
yeah, like as an opponent, that would be like a little daunting going out there. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
their fans are like all about them.
yeah, like that would suck for them. Like, they're in this like red tunnel and all these red lights, and it's like whatever, and they're just in their heads and whatever. But if they have to walk out to that sound and that visual, damn, dude, like I wouldn't want to have to do that. Like, and that's the goal. It's like I want to make it that much more exciting for the players where they're walking out and it's basically all of us giving them hugs and high fives, like fist bumps from everybody. We're all here together, and like it just kind of shows them what's up, like from the get go, and then like, yeah, I don't know. I get goosebumps imagining it. I just hope we can continue to grow it and see what happens. You know, it's in the end, it's up to us as fans to make this kind of stuff happen. We don't need to wait for someone's permission. We just need to do it.
So are you going to be there at the first game to make sure we do it right? You know, maybe be like coordinating the head capo for the stands to make sure we do your chant right.
I mean, the first part of that, am I going to be there? Absolutely. Am I going to be like trying to help it be done right? Not at all.
I just giving you a hard time.
I think, you know, like, again, to me, this is ours. You know, it was no longer mine the moment I released it. That's when it becomes ours. And so it's like, let's do this. Like, you know, it's like the beat's simple. If someone starts playing that rhythm, we got it. You know, like there's really, it would be a hard one to mess up. I'm sure it'll happen, but at the same time, like, all good. It sometimes it takes a minute.
You've been in Utah your whole life, right? Like you know what messes up. Like,
right.
wait,
like, but I mean, when you're trying to get thousands of people to do the same thing at the same time, and there isn't a literal conductor, you know, that's hard to do. So I think it's gonna organically we'll find a groove. I think if we can get the supporters and everybody with the drums work together, and it's like, dude, imagine at any point of the game, any point, like whatever, any part of the match, that rhythm kicks in on some drums. Everyone that in the stadium that has heard this and knows about it will know what to do. And that's pretty dope. It's pretty rad knowing that all we need are a couple drummers to play that beat, and we've got a bilingual thing happening through the whole stadium. Like, that's sick. If we can get the audio to play through the speakers when the guys are actually in the tunnel, rad. Like, that would be amazing if we could actually play, because that acts as a conductor for us. That's what all the clubs in Europe and everywhere in the world do. That's why we don't believe it's what everyone does. But it's a matter of like, if we can get that rad, but if we can also do it organically throughout the match, that's going to be so sick, dude. That's going to be awesome.
Was there an inspiration? One last question before we move on to other stuff, but was there an inspiration from other?
Only one. I guess we're limiting it to
Two
one.
last questions.
I know. Sorry.
Two last questions. But I just wonder if there's an inspiration from another club that for this, or is this just something that kind of
you're a world traveler, right?
Yeah, you get around more than we do.
That's what she said.
Not at all. Right. Not at all. This was just simply like, because I don't want to like, I don't know. I know like, I'd rather be paving roads than going down somebody else's, if that makes sense, you know? And it's like, so with all these ideas, anything I want to bring to the table, I don't want to be trying to recreate what somebody else is doing. Like, that's not special to me. You know, there's a lot of things out there, and once in a while there might be similarities and things that are unavoidable. But in the end, my goal is to be as original as we can. Whether that's Believe, whether that's We Are All, whether that's anything in the future, I always want those things to be as original as possible. You know, I think one of the most inspiring clubs I've been to as far as a tunnel and an atmosphere is St. Pauli. I don't know if you guys have seen the photos of their tunnel and the way it's painted with the skull and like the depth perception where from far back it looks like a full skull and crossbones right in your face. And as you walk down the tunnel, you realize it's just painted in a way that makes it's just absolutely incredible. And I believe it even says like "Welcome to Hell," and it's like really dark and it's just covered in graffiti, and it's an intimidating looking tunnel. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, damn, like this is so sick. Like, how rad to walk through this tunnel for a game. Like, when this is your place, you don't have to be the uncomfortable visitor, you know? And so just that atmosphere is very inspiring, you know? Like, that's one that I would say, like, hell, if we could rip that off, we should, but we wouldn't be able to because the way our setup is. But if you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend you look it up because it's pretty fucking cool.
I'm going to Google it right now.
You know
Yeah. I have photos of it.
Ah.
I took a bunch of photos when I was there, and it was because I was just absolutely in love with it.
I don't have any more
And
questions. I was just
Well,
gonna
you
throw
give
it
me
out. I was just giving you a hard time.
So, what about your other stuff? How is your band going? How is you? We were on a world tour just recently that skipped Salt Lake. Did I miss? Did I get that right?
Well, our tour last year was mostly just European. So it wasn't that we skipped Salt Lake. We just skipped North America. We only did like 5 shows in North America last year. 6, I guess. We did Las Vegas at the very beginning, but next year. Well, no, not. It's this year now. We've got an awesome tour. I'm so excited about with Green Day coming up this summer for 2 months. It's us and Smashing Pumpkins and Green Day and the Linda Lindas. And I cannot wait for that tour. It's going to be so fun. I mean, the Green Day guys are friends of mine, and I absolutely love them. I'm a huge fan, and so that's going to be great. Unfortunately, that I is not coming to Utah. I really, really wish it was. I heard there was talk of trying to get it at the riot. Um, but something greater than me and Rancid and all the forces that be um, didn't work out, and I'm unclear what that was. Sadly, it won't be happening in Utah, but um, we are playing 2 months all over North America, so people are welcome to come out and find us anywhere else. It's going to be a rad tour,
Yeah, no excuses, right?
right?
Yeah,
That's
that
what I'm
used to be
saying.
a
I'm like,
thing we did, right? Were you a fan when we had the post-concert series? Remember that when Beckham came to America and like after games there were like concerts, there bands that do
was
like
it
eight
really?
song sets and stuff.
Yeah, there
Oh,
was
like at
a
the
local.
at the stadium?
Yeah, like One Republic.
Yeah, One
Like,
Yeah,
Republic.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they were great. That's
Yep,
what I remember.
yep.
Yeah.
Well, and we
Oh,
played
yeah,
the
I
last
remember
show
that
we
one.
played. The last time Rancid played in Salt Lake City was at the Riot. That was that we did the East Lawn, like, and it was incredible. Like, I had such a great time. Like, it was in 2021, so it was kind of a weird time for everybody. Kind of the first time bands were out touring and stuff again. Um, but it was absolutely awesome. And this would have been rad because this would have been actually inside the stadium. Um, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they can still have it somehow.
you think it'd be mandatory that Rancid plays RSL and San Jose,
Right.
Right?
right?
Sounds
I
right.
agree. At least with the Salt Lake spot part.
So, what about
I,
your other stuff? Your little business, or I guess not a
Ghost.
little business, Ghost Pickleball. How is that going?
it's been good. I've
Ooh.
been working. I've been working hard. It's hard because that project is literally a one-man show where like that's my baby. I just do for fun. Like I can't. I'm going to take that back. It's a one-man show officially. However, I've had a lot of help with my next door neighbors out here in southern Utah have been absolutely the best. Like um, my buddy Caleb, he's like a web wizard and helps me with everything I don't know how to do. And just every time I have an issue or don't know how to do something, I call him. My buddy Taylor takes all my art files that I design all my paddles and stuff. And Taylor Cameron, who has worked with RSL for years, he helps me out and actually takes my files and makes them into proper files that I can do something with. So, um, my wife helps me tons with every aspect of it, and my neighbors literally and my wife like fill orders for me and stuff when I'm gone, I'm on tour or whatever. Like, so I couldn't do it without their help. But otherwise, as far as trying to run the business and concepts and product and even filling orders, like it's pretty much all me. I literally was out there taping up boxes today, driving to UPS, shipping people their paddles. I don't know if they realize it's literally me boxing this stuff up for them, but it is.
Have you got the rest of your bandmates playing pickleball, or is that something you do on tour together?
Not yet. I got Trey Cool playing with me a lot. Him and his wife are pretty into it now. We are going to bring like a net and stuff with me this summer so that we can play on the road. So I intend to get some playing going. Matt and Tim used to play a lot of baseball growing up, and then Lars, of course, played some soccer. So they're active enough guys. I think they'd be able to hang. I think they'd be good. Some of them get really competitive, so it could get interesting.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it before, but you could start a whole new tour, punk rock pickleball. They've got punk rock bowling, so you might as well do punk rock pickleball.
Right? I think it's going to happen. I have been looking into putting on a couple different kinds of events. There's been one we want to do with RSL and just trying to fine tune the ideas, but having RSL sponsored pickleball tournament or event of some kind, whether that's with like players and fans or staff or all of the above. We also talked about doing one that was kind of RSL versus the Jazz, whether that was like fans or somehow something more. So we've been toying with some ideas. Me and Kimball, right? But
I would love to
Kimball
see
and
a
I have toyed with a
7-footer
lot of
play
ideas.
pickleball.
Yeah.
You should watch Dirk play. Dirk
You're
Nowitzki.
sitting out there, whatever
Yeah.
that guy's name is, that huge crazy dude.
No.
I have a
Fun to
feeling
see
they'd
him
be
play against,
pretty good.
the little guy.
Yeah.
How's your dink in the kitchen?
Vermont,
Is it pretty good? Your
what's
dink in the
that?
kitchen? Is that what they call it? Well,
That's
the kitchen or whatever.
That's none of your damn business, sir.
Oh man, that's like all I know about pickleball.
The only thing I know is
Sound and kitchen. Yeah.
the only thing I know is that
Yeah.
you're not supposed to do a drop shot. That's just not cool. I
No.
saw a video where a guy kept doing a drop shot, and the opponents were like, "That ain't cool."
Oh yeah.
So I don't know.
Not cool.
That's it.
If you're good, apparently. No, I
Exactly.
I find like I have no clue how good I am at pickleball because the times I play, because I have a court at my house, and the times I play are when I've got friends here visiting, friends, family, whoever. And so whoever we're playing with or against, I might be teaching them to play for the first time, or they might be seasoned and know exactly what they're doing. But whoever I'm playing against, I tend to just play at that level because that's what's fun. And so far I've been able to hang with whoever comes over, but I don't know that I'm necessarily really hardcore players. I mean, some of my friends are very competitive and they're good at it, but I don't know I don't know. But I can hang
All
with
right.
them, but I don't know. I
You're
might
calling
suck.
him out. I hear it. He's calling out all the random fans out there. Take him on in pickleball. Sounds like a throwdown.
I need some proper pickleballers to come show me what's up, just so I can be put in my place, so I know where I stand. Like, all right, I'm a shit old man that I should just stick with designing paddles, or it's like I still got it. I can move a little bit. Hell yeah, and it will make me feel better about myself.
Either way.
You're worried you're going to end up on the senior pickleball tour?
They call it the Champions Tour.
That's all it ever was until these last couple years. I mean, that's all pickleball was a game for seniors. Now it's like the youth are trying to keep up with the seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So what are your thoughts on, we've talked everything but RSL. What are your thoughts on the team this year? You've followed it close. I know you've been busy with all that other stuff.
Honestly, not to get overly personal, but we did have a death in the family right at Christmas. I lost my father-in-law. So my attention has been shifted 100% to my family this year, and I've just been like spending all my time with them, with my wife as much as possible, and helping out the family. So while I've been able to get like the chant out and do some things like that, following and keeping up has been limited to like social media, which if you follow me, you see I haven't been very active this year just because I'm kind of trying to shift my priorities to what's most important to me, and that's my family, of course, and it's been a rough time lately. So sadly, for sad reasons, I haven't been able to keep up like I would like to, and I don't mean to change the tone of the podcast, but it seems like there's exciting things happening. It seems like we have a lot of losses and some gains. I'm very curious to see how that's going to shape up for us. What are you guys thinking? How's it all looking? I mean, we lost a lot of people, but
Yeah.
do you feel like we've made up for it with what we've gained?
Savarino, right? He was the big piece, but everybody kind of said he wasn't quite, cohesive in the locker room, and that was one of the things Jason Christ said was, we need cohesion in the locker room. That's what wins championships. That's what helps people work that extra mile when everybody's tired, when everybody's struggling at the end of the game. It gives you that next level of energy when you're playing for the guy next to you. So
yeah,
I really liked his answer on who they were going after and why.
Well, I mean, leave it to Jason Christ to put us all at ease and make sense of a situation, because I think, as we know, like he was, I'm going to go ahead and say he was misunderstood for a long time until he won us a cup. And then all of a sudden everybody got him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to have him back now where people, for the most part, I think, get him, to me, John Kimball and Jason Christ together is just like, all right, we're good now. We're in good hands. Like, that just kind of was a sigh of relief to me when that news broke, where it was like, all right, good. Now things can kind of really get back on track. So that's where a lot of it's just the faith in who we're talking with here, and how it translates to the field. Who knows,
Yeah, we lost Rubio Rubin, who we loved here, even though he had a hard time finding the back of the net. He hustled 100% of the time and
Engaged.
just didn't work out for him. So hopefully, I think he's on loan at
Querétaro.
Down in the Mexican League. So we wish him the best there. Danny Musovsky ended up at all former RSL players at Seattle, seems like.
Or Portland.
No, he's in Seattle.
I know.
Oh, Portland. Seattle, Portland.
Ned and those guys all ended up in Portland.
And there was one of the, did we lose? Oh, Domi. Domi in Vancouver. I'll be curious to see how.
It's a big one.
I was really sad about Domi just because I really loved him on a personal level. Like, I know he hasn't been able to be there and his health and things. He just hasn't been able to be there like Domi was. But regardless, it was sad to see him go. I felt like, maybe I'm overstepping saying this, but I felt like he was one of the last players that were really connecting with the fans, and that leftover wave of like the players that were like, I don't know, really connected and in tune with all of us. Like, not to be talked down on other players at all, but just that it's more of a elevating Domi. He just had something special that will be missed for sure. And I just hope guys can rise to the occasion and fill those shoes. We need those players that we're in love with, and you really get behind on a personal level, and we feel their love back in return.
He was kind of a bridge to the old days. Since now that we have old days back in 2009, as a player that we could attach ourselves to, like Kyle, Nick, Wingert, and all those in the past. But at some point, I was mostly concerned about his personal health, right? That seemed like that back was taking forever, and now he's going to Vancouver. I'm concerned about playing on turf all the time. Yeah. So hopefully he has a great season. I will definitely be rooting for him.
Maybe he only plays away games. Maybe he pulls the Saturday out. He's the opposite,
He only plays away games.
They got a patch of grass for him in the corner. He's taking touches like 9x9 or something.
But it is hard when you lose
when they leave and
great
you feel
players like that.
wanting
But
to root for them still,
there's one thing that never wins championships,
I think in a
and that's sentimentality.
Yeah, but connecting this with fans matters, and
sure.
I think that's kind of what you're saying, Branden, is like Krylock corner with that whole thing and how he did that.
Do you remember he paid for all those seats? Like, that was amazing. Like, I don't remember how many it was he did, but
he started with 100. He started at 100, and then other folks jumped in. And
somebody was matching in, so we went.
I think there was over 400 seats that are given away in that corner for people to come and experience RSL that might normally can't. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this today. You're not following it. You've got other stuff going on. But RSL released, they signed Matt Cross from Middlesbrough out of the championship.
I did see that.
Matt Crooks. What did I say?
Cross. It's Matt Crooks.
Matt can get on the end of a cross.
Yeah.
His name is Matt Crooks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 6'4" from Middlesbrough. They said, I saw a fan on one of the boards saying that they call him Tree.
Yeah.
The Tree.
Yeah. That seems really exciting. I mean, just seeing his stats, like I don't usually pay attention to that kind of thing, but seeing that I was like, ooh, all right, a goal scorer. Like, okay. And just looking into him and the thing that speaks volumes to me too is seeing the comments from his club and his fans and how upset they were to see him go. Like, that's rad. I mean, not rad for them, but that's rad to see that people are not like, good, fuck off with him. Let's get something there. It's nice to see that he's going to be missed. I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah, and they said he really connects with the community. So that's the kind of player we like to see coming into our club.
He really what?
He really connects with the fans, they said. And so in the community. So it's the kind of player we really want to see coming into the club. And as I've said way too many times, I like somebody that's over 5'6" tall on our team.
Sorry, all the short people that listen to our podcast. I'd like to apologize. I am kind of a big dude, but I apologize to all the short people listening.
For a while, I thought RSL was trying to be the shortest team in Major League Soccer. But
it's important to have goals, nice. We gotta strive for things. Whatever it is.
See, but you can't control height. Come on.
I never paid attention to that before. That's funny that it's never been pointed out to me. I don't know how I never noticed that, but
I think there was one game where we started Waffleson and Severino, and we started Pablo Ruiz,
Brody,
and Brody at midfield, and it was like the shortest lineup of all time in the midfield. And Brant was going nuts the whole game. He was like, "These guys are so tiny." He kind of lost his mind after that. He was like, "I want big players all the time." It was great.
Something I don't remember what brought it up, but I was talking to somebody just romanticizing Olave and reminiscing the Olave days. Like, I miss that guy. We've had some great Borchers and we've had some big dudes that were pretty incredible.
Yeah, Olave and Kenny Duker. Remember the doctor?
Dr. Goals.
Oh,
Dr. Goals. He never scored much for us, though.
Love that dude. We've kept in touch over the years still. Like he's a great guy.
Oh, yeah?
We've connected overseas and we've connected several times. I love Kenny.
Oh, right on.
Dude, everybody, man.
No, I mean, it was just that era, there was that little while where everybody was just so approachable and we all got to know each other. And then it was fun because I'd be touring and when people were at their different clubs or whatever, connecting with them there. And then they would connect me with people. I mean, that's how, my St. Pauli experience, that was because Ian Joy connected me with somebody at the club because Ian Joy played for St. Pauli and absolutely loved it and had an incredible experience. And he was always singing their praises to me and telling me about the club and I needed to check it out. And he connected me with somebody over there and they gave me a little tour of everything. And, so it's just been rad experiences that are because we have awesome people with this club and they, all have such cool backgrounds and everybody's well-traveled and knows so many people that it's, you meet one, you end up meeting 10 more great people.
Yeah, and the interesting, Kenny Duker is a doctor, right? He's an actual doctor.
He is.
That's why they called him Dr. Goals.
Yep, so cool.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I know you told us last time a little bit about your experience at Barcelona to kind of tie in, right? And now our new kit, it's been leaked on EFC or whatever they call that.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
It's not FIFA because you can't use their FIFA name. FC.
okay.
Oh, they didn't want to pay him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
I
yeah,
never
they
heard about
leaked
all
their
that.
kit. It looks like Barca.
Right? I saw
Except it has
like
the
the
mountains
brief,
on the top, right?
I saw the brief little thumbnail that was kind
Yeah.
of blurry, and I honestly, I kind of just scrolled past it. I didn't want to see it because I'm like, it was just one of those things. I was like, okay, that's dope if that's what it is at a glance. That looks rad, but this isn't how I want to see it. Like,
Right?
when they do the drop, it's going to be dope, and we're going to see rad photos, and it's going to be our players in it, and maybe our fans in it, and like that's
It's
how
gonna
I
have all
want to
these
see
little
our new
logos
shit.
on it. Right?
What is
That's
it?
the cool part. Like all that, right? The little Apple logo, the RSO, little
Oh, right.
flap down here with the state on it, right? All that stuff. That's the cool part.
Right, like there's so much cool details, and I know Tyler Gibbons has had a hand in the design of a lot of our kits, like him personally, rather than the league just like assigning us a kit now. And so it's rad to know that these designs are coming from in-house, and it's like we have a part in what our kits are going to look like, rather than back in the day where everybody just got the same thing with different colorways,
And we get a new kit every year now.
Yeah.
Do we really?
They rotate back and forth. Yeah, because last year we had the pyrite, the fool's gold, the beehive kit, and
Yeah.
this year we've got the I think that's the community kit they call it. And then they have they don't call them home and away. They have a name for them. And then
Okay, yeah.
this season we'll have the red home kit, whatever they're calling it, and then next year we'll have a new community kit. So every year they cycle through one of the kits.
And we'll have a new front shirt sponsor too.
Yeah. What do you know about that? Is it Ghost Pickle? Ghost Pickleball is the front of the
Ghost
front of-
Pickle.
Ghost
Pickle. That's a great name, man.
Ghost Pickleball Playhouse.
Yeah, we got a Ghost Pickle right on the front.
I
You say
can't
ghost
confirm
right on
or
the front?
deny. I will not confirm or deny, but I'll let you know I'm pretty broke these days, so I might have spent a
I
lot
was
of
gonna say a
money.
one-man show, making it on top of a jersey. That's pretty good, man.
Like, I have been working, selling those panels, getting that front jersey sponsor money. I'm excited.
That would be
I'm
rad.
excited to see it all come together. Like the drops coming this week,
Yeah.
right?
15th. The 15th, right?
Yeah. So this week.
We all have kind of our own ideas. I'm thinking U of U help, or maybe Humphrey Cancer or something there. I think there's some tie-in. I mean, we're not leaking anything, but
Swig. I was hoping for Swig.
Swig.
Right. So
That'd be the
delicious,
ultimate
bro.
Utah one, man.
So
Swig
delicious.
or fizz.
yeah.
Oh man,
Bentos. I saw that one.
Bentos would be dope though. That's a good one.
That would
like
be good. That would be good. I wonder, I mean, I've been guessing things. I believe it's something that's, I want to say I've heard it's something with Utah ties, which is nice. But I'm very curious what it'll be. But in the end, it kind of doesn't matter, It's just
That's
the
not going
name.
to change
It
the
doesn't.
culture, right?
Yeah, it doesn't define us,
If it's Utah ties, it'll be Mr. Mac.
Oh,
Did
Right?
you ever see that Shane Co?
Yeah.
Someone had
Get a
put
nice
out a
suit.
mock-up of like
Reasonable price.
Shane Co. That was pretty hilarious.
Shane would be good.
Then you have to say underneath on the corner of
Stage
72
3
and
72
Yeah, I
on the
was
south.
like, that's
Yeah.
pretty damn
Open
good.
weekday till 8, Saturday till 5, closed Sundays.
It's a really long front shirt sponsor. I think that's why they.
Yeah,
They
everybody
could change it to the corner of 90th South.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So
Hey, what's
good.
next for you creatively, man? What's going on in your life that's going to be creative?
Are you
coming out
getting
of
into another sport? Is it golf? Is it lacrosse?
I think now, honestly, I've got music I'm sitting on that I hope to get released soon. I have an EP I've been working on for a long time that with my former bandmate from the Used. I might even mention that last time we talked, but I've got some prospects for those final pieces of the puzzle that I've been working on. So hopefully something like that. We might be recording and doing some more stuff with Rancid this year. The big tour. I'm moving back up north, which will be nice. I've got a spot that I'm hopefully moving into early March. So I'll kind of split my time between Southern Utah, where I'm at right now, and Orem again, which has been my hometown for the last, I don't know, I've been in Provo and Orem since I was 11 years old. So it'll be nice to get back up there, to get out to matches more. These last couple of years have sucked to be so far away and miss out on matches so much. So it'll be nice to have a home base up there. So yeah, I'm just hoping to be present more, I want to be around. I want to tie in with the community. I want to come up with some cool stuff we can do. I want to, walk the walk, not just talk the talk, with this chant and everything I'm pushing with this. I want to be around. I want to engage with people. I want to come up with ways we can all get together and they had that like kind of summit, or whatever they were calling it, get together, I believe tonight with the supporters groups. I was bummed I just missed it because I just got home last night, but that's
We looked
rad.
for you.
We went for you.
Yeah, we looked
Cool.
for you. We went.
We didn't see you there, but it's all right.
Yeah.
That's the only reason we went. We thought Branden was going to be there.
I would have
Our
loved to be
friend.
there. Like,
Our best friend.
Their best friend. You didn't show, man. What's
Right.
going on?
I was texting you guys. Did you not? What the hell? No one ever got back to me. Our group text.
Right here. Where are you?
Yeah.
But I want to. But it would be like I just want to. I don't know. There's got to be some cool stuff we could do. So I'm excited to just be around and do stuff. Although I am gone all summer, so it's kind of a early and late parts of the year I'll be able to do stuff. But I want to. Hopefully, we can come up with some cool things to all do together.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, right?
Right? Absolutely. Put our heads together and come up with
Yeah,
something
we're
cool.
Well, you can call on us. Obviously, it might take 12 years for me to get in shape to look like a soccer player the next time you do a song. But we're so happy
really
you
wanna
could
do
join us
something
again.
big. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Next time around, I will, whatever it is, I want to do something big that we can just include as many people as possible. And I don't know, it could be so hard to do, but it would be awesome. So, in the end, it's all about inclusion. I remember my first game feeling like I was going to feel out of place. And when I walked in, I realized how diverse it all was and that I felt like I belonged there as much as anybody did. And I just want to spread that vibe to people and kind of drive home the point of all are welcome, and whatever we can do to make this a place of inclusion that everyone can just come and be themselves and have a damn good time watching our team kill it.
Awesome. Well, we can't thank you enough for joining us and
Absolutely
sharing all your thoughts with us. And we appreciate all you've done for the club. And hopefully we won't continue to sing out of tune.
Thank you, guys.
With your new chant and stuff.
Of course, it froze up right when you were saying all that, but
It was something spectacular.
It was really great. It was great.
Compliment.
It was.
all
We can't repeat
super
it now.
nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna say thanks. I don't know. You might have been like, maybe you just. Hopefully, I've
Just say
missed
you'll
the
be
bad
there,
Parts,
you
'cause-
know?
Yeah. Say you agree. Just say you agree. I agree
Yeah,
100%.
No, that all sounds great. You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, no idea.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it just keeps freezing, of course. But anyway,
It's a good way to end, man.
thank you guys for having me back. I appreciate it. And as always, I appreciate the support. So thank you guys.
Our pleasure. Thank you.